Hi there, this is Lee McQueen, and I'm speaking as usual on public affairs because it's been such a roller coaster ride this entire primary season. And now we're headed for the conventions of both the Republican Party, and then after that, the Democrat Party, and then after that, the Green Party, and so on and so forth. And it's been quite a ride, but it's not even over yet. We have so much going on, but I really wanted to somewhat address Bernie Sanders and then his endorsement of Hillary Clinton. I've kind of touched on it briefly, but I haven't really dwelt upon it because it was just so hard to digest. Um, but it's a fact now, and there it is, and you can't really avoid it. So may as well deal with it. um, There are many mechanisms in place to protect the North American citizens and interests of North American citizens from an unsuitable candidate for president. Many mechanisms are in place, many of which or all of which have failed when it came to the Democrat national uh, nomination, I'll say, and then also a Republican nomination as well. But I'm going to focus on the Democrat side of things because I'm going to comment on Bernie Sanders as well. So there are many mechanisms in place to vet a presidential candidate and to protect the American people from a candidate who may cause harm to the office, to the people, to the interests, and perhaps the rest of the world. The past record of a candidate can be used to vet, and we have both Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton's past record to use as an example. One record is pristine, the other record is not. But the primary election proceeded even with that information. Media appearances are used to vet a candidate, what they've said in the past, what they say to the public as the primary season goes on, can be used to vet that person. Bernie Sanders spoke very forthrightly in the past in his media appearances, and he was actually very forthright on the campaign trail as well. If he was asked a question by media, he answered it. Unfortunately, Hillary Clinton relied upon scripted appearances. If someone asked her a question, it likely did not get answered unless she had a script to go by. And as a matter of fact, she hadn't had a press conference or unscripted questions from journalists since December of 2015. And so now we're in July of 2016. We're more than halfway through 2016, and Hillary Clinton has not had a press conference this year. And so mainstream media has failed to hold Hillary Clinton accountable for her past record, her current statements and behavior on the campaign trail. She's just basically said, well, I'm not going to talk about it. And journalists have said, okay, and on with the show. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders has always answered questions, and he's always spoken to the media, and he's always spoken to his supporters. And so it's really bizarre how things have played out up until now. Also, debates. Debates are used to hold presidential candidates accountable and to allow people to see them for who they are, their positions, their interactions, whether they can speak on the issues and show knowledge on the issues. And again, we have Bernie Sanders who's participating in his debates, Hillary Clinton's participating in the debates. But there's a type of bias that was shown sometimes during the debate based on who was actually the moderator or what the forum was, and then also just the fact that the debates were so limited. There were very few debates, fewer than certainly than in previous election years, The debates were scheduled at times where there were lower viewership. And then even one debate, the one that was supposed to be in California, Hillary Clinton reneged on it. And so she's been shutting down communication, trying to shield herself from public scrutiny. And it's just one way that Hillary Clinton protected herself, and the media allowed her to do it. And also, one way that the American public protects itself, or is supposed to protect itself from an unsuitable presidential candidate, is the use of secretaries of state in all 50 states where we hold elections, and then the territories. The secretaries of states are there to ensure the validity and the integrity of the election process in their states. And in at least 11 of those states, the Secretary of State fell down on the job, and fraud likely occurred. And this will likely be proven, not so much by anecdotal evidence, as we've heard from Arizona, New York, and California, but then also with raw data, where data does not hold up the final vote count. So that failed us too, that mechanism for protecting the public. Also, the Democrat National Committee, their job is to remain neutral and ensure somewhat the integrity and ethics of their primaries. And the Democrat National Committee was proven to be in collusion with the Hillary Clinton campaign, and this was proven not by mainstream media, who just decided they wouldn't do any research at all or any investigation. It took foreign hackers and Anonymous and Guccifer and random people from around the world to prove that the Hillary Clinton campaign was playing dirty pool all along. Although we sensed it, we kind of knew it, but it was finally proven through documents hacked from the DNC computer system. And so the Democrat National Committee failed the public, failed the Democrat base, and failed both of its candidates by not holding Hillary Clinton accountable for the candidate she was, and then not even protecting the interest of Bernie Sanders and his supporters. And so that was another failure. And I'm also going to say, let's throw in the FBI and the Department of Justice, who is supposed to provide law enforcement and justice, carry out justice for the American public. And we have not been protected from Hillary Clinton's malfeasance by either the FBI or the Department of Justice. Both of them failed to follow the dictates of their jobs, even in spite of overwhelming evidence and public interest in seeing justice done and an indictment of Hillary Clinton for her wrongdoing. So massive failures, even within our law enforcement community. Finally, the superdelegates for the Democrat National Committee. The Democrat Party has superdelegates in place, again, ostensibly to protect the base of the Democrat Party from unsuitable candidates who should not be allowed to go on to the general election. And basically, the majority of them failed in their job duties to protect the base of the Democrat Party from Hillary Clinton and the people who associate with Hillary Clinton. So there were many failures, just one by one. There were checks and balances in place to protect the North American public from unsuitable, criminal, moralless, rudderless, unethical candidates. And one by one, all of these systems failed, just down the list. And so here we are, and we're coming to the Democrat National Convention. It's a week away, and we still don't know how it's going to end up. But from what we've seen so far, its indications are, well, like I said, I don't make predictions, but I can just only go what the facts have shown me so far. And so far, it has not gone well. We've seen a lot of people just either refuse to do their jobs or just fall asleep at the wheel or just shut their eyes and let criminal activity occur no matter who gets hurt. And so even with the writing of the Democrat Party platform, there was just strange lack of resolve within the Democrat Party. And so they've kind of had most of this year to show us who they are. Some of this they've shown us, and then some we've had to rely on outside sources to show to us what was happening within the Democrat Party. And so it's kind of unacceptable the level of malfeasance that's occurred. We'll see what happens at the Democrat National Convention. But, if the past is any indication, who knows? I guess we'll find out.